What's going on, y'all? Scott Lane, the Black Bruce Wayne. I am now movement, y'all. Hitting y'all up. About to release this video blog on scottlanemusic.com. Man, me and my wife just seen the X-Men First Class joint last night. Now, first of all, I just want to say I did enjoy the movie. It was a good movie, but I do feel like, there's kind of some undertones in there I want to hit up on, just for the fun of it. You know what I'm saying? For those of y'all who know me, I'm not like, some militant type cat, but I did think it was pretty interesting. So, 5 reasons why X-Men First Class is racist. Alright, maybe that's a little bit harsh, but let's just say it has some racial overtones. Peace. Check it out. I got 5 points. I'm going to move pretty quick because I don't want to, extend people's attention span and all that kind of stuff. And I do want to say that these 5 points are not in rank order of what's most offensive or least offensive. It's just that when I wrote them out, this is the way it flowed best in terms of, what I'm going to cover. Alright. Number 5. When you have in the movie, there's 2 black mutants in the movie. Alright, you have a male and a female. Alright. And so, there's one scene where Professor X is, looking for these mutants, trying to recruit people and all this kind of stuff. And so he's, looking all over the world or whatever, and it shows that, like, their backstories and whatnot. Now, you got one guy who's like, in jail. He's like cool and mysterious. And you have another guy who's, on a date with a girl, and then, Xavier and Magneto show up. It's like, yo, you trying to be part of our team. And then they come to the black girl. The black girl's a stripper. And I'm like, really? That's the best that we could do? You know what I'm saying? I'm not, dissing anybody out there. I'm not trying to downgrade anybody or whatever. But at the same time, I was like, wow, that's how they portray who we are. You know what I'm saying? The one black female in the movie, she's a stripper. And then not only that, when they find her, the way they like first show her power or whatever is she's giving them a private strip dance. You know what I'm saying? And she's like, boom, look what I can do. And so she takes off her top. And then, shows her special power or whatever. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? People have to understand that movies are entertainment, but look at it this way, movies are also a language, okay? These directors, they use movies to communicate certain themes, all right? That's their whole goal, so it's not just, ooh, wow, look at this. They're trying to communicate something. So when we have these images on TV, movies, and whatnot, they're trying to show us what they think we are, or what they want us to be, So in this case, the black girl is a stripper. Now let me put this in context. That's point number 5. Point number 4, there are 2 other females who are in the core part of the plot who are portrayed as strippers. Both of them being Caucasian. Okay, the first one is Moira McTaggart, who, later we find out is, a doctor, so that kind of balances it out. And then 2, the only reason she was a stripper is because she was a secret agent and she was pretending to be one so that she can catch the bad guys. Okay, so really they give her some other type of part in her role to kind of balance that stripper thing out. Now the second one was Emma Frost. Historically, those who know comic books know that Emma Frost is one of the more like powerful villains or whatever, and in this movie she plays kind of like the right hand to the main bad guy. So even though she's portrayed in like a sexual type role, she's authoritative. She's authoritative, exactly. And she's handling her business throughout the movie. She's wrecking shop, beating,
And they try to make her look sophisticated but sexy.
Right. Whereas the black girl,
trashy.
She's just a stripper. Hope that doesn't offend anybody. Anyway, all right. So that's point number 4. So point number 1, black girl's a stripper. Point number 2, she's the only one in that role who doesn't have something else to balance her out to make it more positive.
Angry black woman.
Angry black woman.
That's what she's portrayed as.
Which leads into my 3rd point. If you look at the black chick, she's an angry black woman. She's hard. She's mean. She's probably had some kind of tortured life. You know what I'm saying? She maybe dad issues or man issues rather. That kind of stuff. So they kind of portray her as being like kind of cold like. Whereas if you compare that to Mystique, who when they develop her character line, the first time you see her, she's a kid. She's kind of vulnerable. She's got self-esteem issues as opposed to being like really mean like that. She's kind of just been vulnerable and she's more so soft. Well, I think that's kind of interesting. You know what I'm saying? How come the black girl can't be like that? Well, how come she's just a stripper, that's it? And then not only that, she's the first one to join the bad guys team when the bad guy shows up. So she just dipped out. She basically just a follower.
Destroy her own people.
Yeah, she's working against her own folks, which leads to my next point. Okay, this is going to go into point number 2, I think we're at. When the bad guy shows up and is dealing with the recruits, they break into the facility and they're trying to take these recruits with them to the bad guy side, which is Sebastian Shaw in this movie. The black girl is the first one to go. So the next thing you see is the black guy goes to save her and bring her back to the good side, and he gets killed. Now, really, Okay, the one black mutant in the whole movie ends up getting killed. For real though. Now we all know that, you know, if you see a black guy in a movie, in an action movie, a horror movie, in the back of your mind you think, like, you know he gone. And you were just waiting for him to die. And if he somehow is alive at the end of the movie, it's like, dang, yo, the black dude live? It's kind of like a bonus, you know what I'm saying? But we all know it's kind of like a running gag, you know, the black guy gonna die first. Yeah, I'm thinking, okay, you know, it's 2011, you know what I'm saying? We got a black president, you know, maybe they're gonna kind of cut us some slack a little bit. Well, sorry fans, you know, the black guy dies in this movie too, you know what I'm saying? So, you have the black girl, she's going to do her thing, the black guy comes out, you know, he's trying to stop her or whatever, and he gets murdered. So it's like, dang, really? I'm like, you know, first of all, I'm not even gonna get to this now, but like, think back to Transformers. Transformers 1. The black robot, Jazz, he gets killed too. Dang, you know? It's just kind of wild how they keep that theme going. Now, this leads to point number 1, which is my main point. Alright, the black guy dies, which is whack. And first of all, he kind of had whack powers anyway. But let's take a look at it. The black guy's name is Darwin. You know, when they're sitting around talking about how they want to, you know, what their code names are going to be, basically like their, you know, how you have Wolverine versus Logan, you have real name and a code name, okay? This guy's name, the black mutant's name is Darwin, okay? He calls himself Darwin because his power is no matter what situation he's in, he can adapt to fit that situation. So they show him like, you know, sticking his head in some water and then like gills pop up. So like whatever situation he's in, he's able to adapt to it, okay? He explains this like 3 or 4 times.
He constantly says it, yeah.
He constantly says it, you know, so he names himself Darwin, all right? Now, for those who don't know, Charles Darwin is the guy who, the scientist back in the day, way back in the day, who gave us the theory of evolution, which basically says that whatever species is able to adapt to, you know, their environment in order to remain dominant or functional will continue to survive.
You're 6 minutes in.
Okay. So those species who are not able to adapt, you know, basically die off. They're not able to survive. So let me go back. This guy, he calls himself Darwin, you know. So he's trying to save the black girl and, you know, trying to keep her from going to the bad side. And, you know, the bad guy asks him, hey, you know, what's your name? What's your power? He said, well, my power is I'm able to adapt to anything. And then he kills him. So I'm like, okay, so the guy's name is Darwin. He says several times his power is to be able to adapt and survive. And he doesn't survive. As a matter of fact, he's the only mutant in the movie who gets killed. The only one. Other than the bad guy at the end, you know. But as far as the positive, he's the only one that dies, okay? So if you look at the movie, the whole movie is based around, you know, evolution and, you know, humankind developed from apes and therefore, you know, apes kind of fell off and now these mutants are coming along and
the higher breed wins.
The higher breed wins. Well, apparently the black guy doesn't fit in that category of being the higher breed because he's the only one of the mutants that doesn't survive.
They constantly say that throughout the movie, the higher breed will overcome.
There you go. So again, maybe it's focused on Odin, maybe not. But my whole point is, think of it this way: movies are language. You know, they're trying to communicate something. If you think about the rest of the movie is very detailed in terms of the plot. You know, they've got, you know, Magneto who comes out of the concentration camp and that fits into his torn past and explains why he is the way he is, and Charles the way he is, and they kind of fuse it all together. It's very deliberate. So I have to assume that if they're that detailed in how they constructed those aspects of the plot, that they're very detailed and calculated in terms of how they constructed these, which I think is very interesting. What are they trying to tell us about ourselves? What are they trying to say? You know, I don't know. I want to hear from y'all though. You know, is Scott Lang Odin? Am I going too far? Or do you guys feel like there may be some credibility to it? Not just with the X-Men movie. I'm just using this as an example. You know, maybe you see something else in another movie or television show that you would like to voice it. You know, you can hit me up on scottlangmusic.com. I'm gonna be posting this video blog up wherever I can. But hit me up on scottlangmusic.com. You go to the community section. You can post a comment, or on the homepage, you just post a comment on the homepage. It was the first one that comes up. scottlangmusic.com. I am now Movement. Love y'all, man. Peace.